Let's move on to our third and final featured topic today. And our third and final main topic today gets submitted to us by our friend Jared Oberfeld. And Jared writes, "Love your show." Thank you so much, Jared. "I just heard from Deadline that Paramount has sold Coming to America 2 to Amazon for a reported $125 million. That seems like an unusually high price for a comedy, but Jeff Bezos is richer than Scrooge McDuck. Your thoughts?" All right, thanks for sending that in. And yes, also a story that just broke just as we were heading into the last part of the John Campea Show yesterday. We all know Eddie Murphy has made Coming to America 2. And we knew it was supposed to be coming out soon. We've heard nothing about it. A lot of us started suspecting it might have to go to the VOD route. And sure enough, they've announced it is. It's been picked up by Amazon. Now, Paramount is a studio that is well-versed in dumping its films off to streaming. They've done it a number of times now. They did it with the Cloverfield movie that they did the last minute. They dumped that on Netflix, I believe that one went. Then they did it with the Kumail Nanjiani comedy Lovebirds. They dropped that out of nowhere. They just peeled it off over to Amazon as well. And now they've made another deal with Amazon for this. Obviously, the circumstances have been different for all three of these, but this is not an unusual thing for them to do. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety, who writes, "The long-anticipated sequel to the Eddie Murphy classic is in the process of being sold by distributor Paramount Pictures to Amazon Studios. In a deal worth roughly $125 million, Insider said, the expected streaming premiere date is December 18th, so it's coming soon," sources added. "Final details are being hammered out," sources said, "including 2 complex consumer marketing tie-ins with McDonald's." You can't do a Coming to America without tying McDonald's in there somehow, including McDonald's and whiskey brand Crown Royal, which are expected to transfer over to Amazon Studios with the film. Murphy, who produced as well as stars in the film, also has to give his blessing. So it sounds like this isn't 100% completely locked in yet, but it's probably heading in that direction. I think there's a couple of interesting things here. First of all, is the obvious note. Coming to America is one of those films that is completely the poster child, that is absolutely a prime candidate to make that move over. You don't want to delay it for too long. You don't know how long it would have to delay. It wasn't going to be a monster box office hit. Let's just admit that and say that right up front, even though I was really excited to see it myself. It was a prime candidate to move over to streaming. And Amazon is a good partner for something like that. Amazon knows how to handle their original films. And I think they're going to do a good job with this one. So I think this is a pretty cool move. Something else that's interesting here, Rob, is that $125 million number. Because a lot of people will look at that, understandably, and say, wow, that's a lot. 125 million? That's a lot. And for some movies it is. However, I also want to point something out here, that what that number really represents. What that number essentially represents is that, what does that tell us about how much Paramount believed this movie was going to make in theaters? COVID notwithstanding. What does that number tell us about what Paramount legitimately and honestly thought its potential was in theaters? Not that high. Like, if they're willing to part with it for $125 million, that means that, COVID notwithstanding, they don't think this is a movie that could have made $300 million in theaters. They don't think this is a movie that could have made $375 in theaters or what have you. So they go 125 off it, put it to Amazon, kind of a win-win. It's a nice call. From a strictly fan point of view, Rob, I can't wait to watch this. I've been looking forward to seeing them return to these characters for most of my life. I've been looking forward to watching these guys return to these characters. I can't wait to see it. If making a movie, and let's face it, this isn't one of those films, like, all movies are meant to be seen on the true big screen in a movie theater where movies are meant to be watched. But, you know, some movies are more inclined to really needing to be on the big screen. Coming to America 2, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess it's not one of them. So this is probably a pretty shrewd move on their part. I'm looking forward to seeing this a whole ton. And December 18th, great date. I'm looking forward to it. This whole move makes sense. Rob, when you take a look at this deal that they've made, how do you analyze it? What stands out to you?
I did find it kind of interesting considering, Paramount Plus, they're starting their own streaming service. And I would have thought that, this would have been a prime candidate for a launch title for a rebranding of that streaming service. But look, Paramount got to eat. And I think selling this movie off to Amazon is a good move. It pays for the film. In this day and age where they're borrowing money and they're burning cash, they don't know if these movies are going to be able to make it into theaters. I think this is a way to. I'm sure the movie didn't. I don't know what the production budget was, but I'll bet it was a lot less than $100 million. So I think this was really great for the studio. And it puts Paramount in a good position. It's weird that they would sell off. Like, I wonder if the movie reverts back to Paramount after a certain amount of time, or did they just sell it outright to Amazon? Because Paramount obviously has the original Coming to America in their catalog. They own it. It's part of obviously a legacy title for them. So it seemed a little odd that they would do it, but from a financial and business standpoint, it makes perfect sense to me. The question that I really have is, has the band Sexual Chocolate reformed, and do we get to see them again in Coming to America 2?
I believe, what is that actor's name? And he was in ER, and he was just in Logan as well. He was just in Logan. And I'm forgetting his name, but the guy
Eric LaSalle.
LaSalle. That's it. Well done. I believe I heard he's not in it.
But he wasn't, it was Eddie Murphy who fronted the band. Eric LaSalle just had the soul glow,
right? Yes,
right?
That's right. Yes, he was the soul glow guy. But I remember hearing that Eric LaSalle wasn't in it, and that's disappointing to me because I like Eric LaSalle, and well, it's too bad.
Well, you can't get everybody, but as long as Sexual Chocolate performs, I'm in.
All right, guys. Question is, what do you think about this December 18th? It sounds like we're going to have a chance to watch Coming to America 2, and it's going to be on Amazon Prime, so make sure you get those Prime memberships. I already got mine, so I'm all set. What do you think about it, guys? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.